to, oh,
we
recording
go.
in progress.
There we go. I was
All right.
under the wrong account. So, all right. So welcome everyone to our state information meeting for State Conference 2022 at Indiana State University. Just a quick intro. I am Bill Richmond. I am the state advisor, and then I have Scott Thorne with me, and he is our competitions advisor. So we work together throughout the year to kind of plan the state conference along with the board of directors and make sure that we have all the information we need. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here real quick. Make this go away. So can you guys see the website? All right, cool. All right, so if you go to our Indiana TSA website, there is in the top bar, there's state events. And if you hover that, you can click on state conference. And this will bring you to all the information we have so far for the state conference, the dates being February 25th and 26th. Theme is to be announced. And then registration is $45 per student. They'll include t-shirt, award, certificates. And then this year we actually have a welcome dinner sponsor. So we'll actually have a full dinner the first night that you arrive, thanks to Hoosier Pattern. So we got some companies that are stepping up, helping out a lot. So, and then as well as if you are wanting to, we have a hotel booking. You can stay at the Hilton Garden Inn. We have 40 rooms reserved there. That is literally across the street from the engineering technology building at Indiana State University. So it'd be your closest, be literally just a walk across the street. But if you want to try and find your own, that's a cheaper rate and you want to drive in or something, you do have the option to do that. But we did find these rooms are $137 after tax. So however your school goes, I mean, my school at Belmont, we put in usually 4 students to a room, depending on how many we have. So, and then on top of that, up in the top, we have our competitive events list. And this is where you can get most of the information you are going to need for the competitive events for state conference. So if you click on that, it'll open up a Excel sheet. And this Excel sheet is going to be where we're going to put all information required. And any other documents will be from a link in this spreadsheet. So, and I'll explain that, but based on your event. So we have events like architectural design, and then followed by it has our eligibility. You can have 1 to 4 members per team, 2 teams per chapter. And then you have a level. If it says HS, that's high school. It says MS, it's middle school. And then the type of competition, if it's team or individual, only team or only individual. So like CAD architecture, you can't have a team, it's only individuals. And then if there's some sort of challenge or updated info that needs to be in there that you won't find in like the in your TSA portal as an advisor, where you find your rubrics and all the information for competition, it will be in here. So for example, if you click on this one, local theme info for CAD architecture, it will bring you to a Word document that we've put together. And this can be accessed by your students or yourself. And this will go over the instructions for that event. So anything that's in addition to what's put out by National, or if there's a modification. One main thing for CAD this year is in the past, it's been a complete static event. But Scott, would you like to explain the difference?
Sure. So for national competition, this is not a static event. It's a live 3 or 4 hours where they kind of lock the students in the room and they have them complete as much as they can with part files, drawing files, assemblies, presentations, to see how complete and how accurate they can be with that kind of a drawing. I know that a lot of our students participate in the 3D CAD and they enjoy that as a static event, so they can work on that throughout the year. And then it kind of keeps them engaged throughout the year for you to have them in that event, they have something that they can do when they go to the meetings. So we're going to leave the static event there as a qualifier round, but we're also going to incorporate a finalist round on site. And this will be for, I think we have it blocked for 2 hours, where they'll get an extra prompt at the location, where bring their laptop or their computer with whatever 3D modeling software they have, and we will have them make the same kind of thing with the time limit restriction. So trying to align that more with what they'd expect to find at nationals.
All right, thank you, Scott. So that would be some of the information there. That's one of the biggest changes for this year. Next to it, you'll also see if there's a challenge from national, that challenge would be there, or it would be our challenge. And then a theme or something like that. The next categories you see pre-conference only, pre-conference and on-site only. This is so that your students can tell if your students are ones that want to show up to conference with no prep work, besides maybe bringing the materials they need. On-site only would be those competitions where they don't really have to do anything prior to, besides maybe make sure they bring the equipment. Pre-conference only is they could submit everything they need prior to even showing up. And then pre-conference and on-site means that they'll have something they'll have to do prior to showing up, as well as something they'll have to do there. And then the gray category is digital portfolio through presentation interview. If there's an X, that means that is something that they will have to submit as part of that competition. So for example, Children's Stories requires a digital portfolio, as well as a model or entry, that would be their actual book, and then a presentation interview at the conference. So they have to present and interview with the panel of judges, their book. The next category would be if there's a due date prior to the conference or at the conference, that is when it will be required. So notice our conference starts on the, I believe the 25th of February. And due dates for several of these competitions that are pre-conference and on site are February 18th by 11:59 p.m. This allows our judges to not be bombarded, and they can go through a lot of the documentation beforehand that's necessary, so that if it's just like an interview required, we can keep those events those events to not take as much time, so we can offer more things. They're not waiting for interviews or anything like that based on the judges. There's a category called Indiana modifications, the national regulations. This would be basically information that is contradictory to what's in the rubric. So take a look at the rubric, but also take a look at this to know what we're modifying. So portfolio will be electronically submitted. Physical copy is suggested at the competition. Whereas in reality, if you look at the national rubric, it would say that they would just submit their portfolio at check-in. So there's just some minor modifications. And then there's a category called suggested skill sets. If you have students that are like, I don't know what to take, this is kind of break it down for them so they can look at where their experiences and skills lie in order to choose a competition that they will enjoy. These other ones we're trying to fill in. Past winners, the idea is that we're going to take this year's winners and we're going to put them into a Google folder, remove names if necessary, and then that way people can look at what an example of a first place activity or first place winning team project would be. That way they kind of have a baseline idea of what type of quality are they looking for. Links to materials. That one is going to be based off the competition. So for example, for our newer advisors, if you're going to dragster competition, one of the links we're going to put in there is a link to like the exact model that most people end up using through Pitsco or something like that, so that people aren't having to try and go out and find links their own. If they want, they can, but we're going to offer what most people use. So if you have links that you find useful, just let us know, and we would love to add them in there for other advisors. And then that last box submission link, if you were part of TSA last year at the state conference, we started using Judge Pro. This allows students to upload things digitally in advance, and then judges will actually be able to grade rubrics online, and then the copies of the rubrics will be sent out to them. That submission link will be there once we get Judge Pro and all of that set up. So when your students are ready to submit their project, that is where they would go. And we will, once you're registered, we will email you a list of usernames and passwords for your students to log in and upload their equipment upload their portfolios. Scott, do you have anything else on this worksheet?
I think that covers quite a bit of it.
Okay. Does anyone have questions on this?
So the other big change from last year is how many middle school events we now have. But do either of you have middle school students? Okay, well, since this is being recorded, we did add several middle school events to match up with what we have at the high school level. We figure we can reuse those same judges and for some more opportunities there.
I know we added board game design for this year as well for high school.
Yes, we did.
And promotional design. Board game design, pretty self-explanatory, but promotional design is creating, it's more like graphic art.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they can use Word, they can use Publisher, they can use a number of different, they can use something as simple as Microsoft Word. And they're making a brochure and a threefold, say it's like a flyer, a folder, and a threefold brochure that's around some kind of a theme for the year.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So other than that, we haven't yet posted the times because we're still working on a final schedule. But as of right now, we are looking at chapter registration starting around 3 p.m. on Friday. That's what time it started in 2020, back when we were at Purdue University. And then going until later that evening, starting back up the next morning around 8 or 9 a.m. and then going up until around 4 o'clock, 4:30 to end. So that's at least to give you a range of time. And then we're still putting together the schedule of like what events are going to be what time. Some of the events like structural design, they have to build one at the conference. So we're going to have that first part be on Friday night so they can build their structure there. That way it gives time for the glue to dry in order to destroy their bridge the next day. So think that's all I have on that. We do still have our dress code there. Some of these, if you click on conference agenda, it will be out of date. We'll also put a competition submission link here once it's open. So if students want to do it that way, they can. And we'll put the conference and schedules out once we get those done. I noticed this link was dead earlier, the 2022 sponsorship form. I'll get that fixed here soon. When registration opens, which will be soon as well, we'll send an email out. You can go to register that way. But if you are interested or know any businesses that are interested in sponsoring, on the homepage right now, I know this link is live. It says sponsor the 2022 state conference. If you click on that, it'll open a PDF with the sponsorship opportunities. So this first one, the welcome dinner, the $3,000, that has already been donated. So we are still looking for all sorts of different sponsors. in the years past, we did $500 sponsorships, and that's all we asked for. So this year we kind of went big, and so far it's been working out pretty good. So this thing keeps on getting in the way. Does anybody have any questions so far?
So just so I'm sure I'm writing this down, students are required to be down Friday for whatever happens on Friday. What time do they need to be there again?
3 p.m. is when we start registering.
Okay.
Our open exhibit and welcome reception usually starts around 4 p.m.
Okay. All right. And then hotel the next morning, what time does it generally start?
Around 8 or 9 in the morning.
Okay. Which is a lot better than 6. So
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's still in Terre Haute. So I'm
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna get a hotel because it's a 4-hour drive, almost 3 hours.
My only issue is they'll require me to get my own hotel room. I have 2
Yeah.
boys and a girl, so I would have to get 3 rooms for 4 people. So, okay, I was just checking the time stuff. There's no way I could drive back and forth, but
Yeah.
they wouldn't let me do that anyway. I was just checking. Thank you.
Okay. I don't think I have anything else at this time. We're going to be meeting here soon this week to finalize the schedules and get that registration system open up. So everything will be open up before the school semester ends, but I'll email that out. And then we'll make sure that you guys have time to get in there and get registered. Scott, you have anything?
No. So any other event specific questions?
All right. So since this is a recording, I just want to also reach out to anyone who's watching. If you have questions, you can email myself or Scott. If you email me and you want to talk to Scott, I can send you his email, or unless you want to give your email. But mine is stateadvisor at indianatsa.org. If you go to the contact on our webpage and you go to contact us, I will get your message, or you can just email me right there as well. That is all I have. If you have questions, go ahead and reach out. But otherwise, I hope you all have a great day.
One more quick question, sorry. Will there be a list of items required to bring? Will they be put on that spreadsheet for competitions?
Specific, I'll open up the TSA portal here. So if I go to, once you get all affiliated and you're registered, you go to tsaweb.org. If there's some modification that's not listed on the rubric for the competition, it will be on that spreadsheet.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you go to your total TSA tab, and then I'm going to go to competitions, high school, and then I'm going to go to, I'll just open the full PDF here.
This is an important document to know how to get to.
Yes. I'm going to do technology problem solving. So, find technology problem solving. This is all how it applies to state standards. There we go, technology problem solving. So this is the rubric itself. It gives them an overview, eligibility. If there's always start here, but then double check any of the modifications that are on that spreadsheet, just because we can't edit these PDFs. So if we're doing something at the state level that we don't have the capability to do, or it's easier for us to do in a smaller environment, we might do a minor modification. Gives them
That right-hand column, letter C, there's a good list of things to bring with you.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it tells them to bring a toolbox, the measurements, cutting devices, none may be electric. So that's for like technology problem solving. Some of the other ones will, for example, computer coding. We still got to double check and make sure that we have a computer lab reserved so that we can do that there, or if students need to bring their own. But we'll update that stuff on the spreadsheet as we gather that information.
Okay.
And as far as electric applicators go, I think that's a reference to hot glue guns or electric adhesive applicators.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
And if anyone needs help, navigating through TSA web as well, sometimes it can be a headache, but gladly put together a video or meet you. Okay. All right. Thanks for attending, everyone. Once again, if you need to get a hold of me, state advisor at indianatsa.org. And have a good one.
All right.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, take care.
Bye.